Hey guys, Mr. Neese. I'm going to talk to you about SE11A. So let me read it to you. Describe U.S. involvement in world affairs, including the end of the Cold War, the Persian Gulf War, the events surrounding September 11th, 2001, and the global war on terror. So several items going on here. Again, this is going to be kind of a high-level review of what we've already talked about or learned. Let's start with the end of the Cold War. So in the 1980s, the Soviet Union has a new leader, Mikhail Gorbachev. Here we have Reagan, and Gorbachev becomes more open to allowing capitalism and some freedoms in his country. Working with Reagan, they signed some arms reduction treaties. And basically, the big thing that ends the Cold War is the economic collapse of the Soviet Union. Economically, the system just doesn't work. So you're going to see in 1989 the Berlin Wall come down. I think it's 1991 that the Soviet Union itself finally dissolves and breaks up into the nations. Not necessarily that we know of today, because those nations are going to kind of divide and become different things. But Russia now is the predominant nation we know of now. That was the big part of the Soviet Union back then. So we'll also have the Persian Gulf War. We get this in 1990. This is a United Nations, 34 nations, primarily us, with 34 other, or 33, I guess, other nations. But we are the strongest, largest force. We are going to go in and free Kuwait. Kuwait is invaded by Iraq. Iraq is ran by Saddam Hussein at this time. It was a overwhelming victory for us in the United Nations. And in this case, Saddam Hussein remains in power. That wasn't part of the agenda, so they did not go in and remove him from power in this one. After that, we will get the September 11, 2001 attacks. Usually we're all pretty familiar with this, and we've talked about it quite a bit. But this is the attacks on the World Trade Center, the Pentagon, the plane that went down in the field in Pennsylvania that was going to target the White House. These resulted in over 3,000 casualties, 6,000 injured, exceeding the toll in Pearl Harbor. Becomes our largest domestic attack on our land domestically. And that response by us from these terrorists, this terrorist activity, is the war on terror. So George Bush, George Sr., in 2001 will respond with the war on terror. So basically meaning we're going after terrorist groups like those led by Osama bin Laden, Abu Musab al-Zarqawi, and destroy their networks. It is a different type of war. It's not like you're invading a country or nation or attacking a solid entity. These guys live in a stealth kind of way. So we have to change how we do things, and we're going to target them and anyone who is affecting our interest or our safety of our citizens. And so that's kind of the war on terror, global war on terror. So that's a high-level view of SE11A. Hopefully that helps.